everybody, welcome back. This is More Than the Title, episode 111. I'm your host as usual, Jared Thomas, Chief Revenue Officer at Outside the Box Digital. And you know I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO, Chatio. What's good, baby?
We in the building.
We in the building, man. Busy
big
day.
Bronx energy, big Bronx energy, big Bronx energy. Big Bronx energy, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. We had a lot of good meetings today, and I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling revitalized. You understand what I'm saying? It feels good, ladies and gentlemen, when you're an entrepreneur and you go through your ups and your downs, when you get one of those good wins, when you get a win, what? You know what I'm saying? It's the wind beneath my wings.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it feels, y'all. When you know the ups and downs of this entrepreneurship, y'all, man, you don't know until you know, y'all, straight up and down. And we're gonna talk about this today. As usual, you know, we got a great show lined up for y'all today. And man, before we begin, shout out to y'all, the subscribers, the followers, listeners all across every platform. We're growing and glowing every week because of y'all. Right now, we just passed 300,000 views on YouTube. 6 months, y'all. Let's go. You know what I mean? 300,000.
Hold on.
300,000, y'all. 300 kids. You know what I'm saying? It's because of y'all. It's because of y'all, man. And it's a lot of days, man. Like I said, 70 degrees out here in New York right now. It's City Island weather, man. But you know what? We here, man. We rocking. We not letting anything stop the train, man. And we love the support. We love all the comments, man. We got a lot of videos flying on YouTube and across all platforms. And we just appreciate the love, straight up.
And for anybody wondering, we close to City Island right now, too. That's about 10 minutes.
Could see the shit.
That's
Can see it.
Seafood City from here next to Lobster Tails. I'm salivating.
We got a pod, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because this is for the culture. This is for the culture, y'all. Y'all know how we do it, man. And before we begin, y'all already know.
I need one of them possible throw a chair drinks.
Oh, yeah. Definitely throw chair weather, y'all. We be out there soon. Don't worry. The joints are out. They looking like that. So,
you gotta run, boy. Run.
They look good, my God.
Hopefully those are what's out there today while we not there.
Look like Halle Berry to me.
That's stupid, man. But straight up, man, you already know. Shout out to our distribution partners to a live podcast network, man. First woman-owned, black-owned podcast network in the U.S. We're growing and growing. Shout out to Angel Leaders and the entire team, and shout out to Sis, man. She's one of the top 100 female business leaders in the United States, as awarded by Inc. magazine, y'all. Straight up and down, man. So shout out to the queen, man. Shout out to her for doing the thing. And if you want more content from black content creators like More Than the Title, make sure y'all download the app. We're gonna leave the QR code up. But it's one of the only platforms that when you subscribe, gives half of the money straight to the creators, man. Only other platform doing that. There's not many doing that, and we're gonna rock with our own. We don't just talk or we walk this shit, y'all. Straight up.
That's a fact, man. Because be clear, ladies and gentlemen, we have the ability to jump to any network right now that we want to, but we're staying where we are because we believe in building. We believe in partnerships, right? So like my cousin said, we're not walking the walk without talking the talk. We're doing both at the same time, right? So, you know, we're proud to be at Alive. We're proud to be at Alive. Like she would say, what a time to be alive. Message. We got to get money together. We got to get money together.
We got to build, y'all. And with that said, because we're going to talk about how to get this money. You want to be an entrepreneur? We're going to talk about getting this.
Let's start the show.
This intro going to be wavy. Are y'all ready, man? Get the horn ready, my bro.
I got you.
Get the horn ready, man. So we're going to introduce this brother. And before I start with this intro, I'm going to let y'all know that I've been following and we've been connected with this brother for at least a couple of years now, at least from the start of my LinkedIn journey. There's not too many of us on LinkedIn that look like us, that are representing, that's shouting out for the culture and really just putting on, man. And we've always been in tune with each other, but it's an honor to have him here on the platform today. And this is our first time meeting, and we're going to have fun and we're going to bug out, man. But I'm going to tell you right now, this brother's a bad brother. He's not your average entrepreneur. He's a powerhouse who's transformed businesses and individuals through influential power of podcasts and personal branding. He has an impressive roster of clients, including Marcus Lemonis, VaynerX, Red Bull, and also secured over $200K in sponsorships through his groundbreaking podcasts and events. As a seasoned entrepreneur, podcast host, and a national keynote speaker, this brother shares profound insights from his book, Change Your Circle, Change Your Life. His impactful talks delivered to large audiences at prestigious venues like BMW, Summerfest Tech. He focuses on personal branding, podcasting, and marketing strategies, but it also doesn't stop there. This brother's also a former hip-hop artist who's opened up for major acts like Snoop Dogg, TI, and he also brings in a unique perspective to the table. With over 100 shows a year, he's booked all of his gigs, handled all of his promotions, the marketing, showcasing his work through his work ethic and dedication. He's also recognized nationally and featured in Office Hours by David Meltzer, right? He's also a proud member of Forbes Black, champion excellence, the opportunity for entrepreneurs, marketers, leaders, and creators worldwide. So let's introduce this brother. He's the founder of Foureva Media. Let's introduce Jamar Jones, y'all. Let's get it.
Hey, man. Well done, man.
My bro, man. You earned that.
That might have been the longest fucking intro you have given to date. I ain't gonna lie, but I thought you was gonna need the defibrillator a couple times. The heart was pounding.
I'm like, shit, nigga. He also opened up for Snoop. BMW. He got Office Hours. He's groundbreaking. He got sponsorships.
Listen, I'm just saying right now. Listen, Jamal. Right after that intro, we're gonna start the show. Like you hear an intro like that, you just like,
bro.
Like, God damn! Congratulations,
well deserved, bro.
Thank you, guys, man. It's been a crazy journey. I've lived many lifetimes, so that's why the intro is so long. And it's just gonna continue to get longer, I guess.
Yeah.
Pause.
Hey, yo, hey, listen.
Not off the rip. Not off the intro, God.
Jamal, you got hold on. Don't start the show like that. Hold on. We can say you're gonna add more. You're gonna add.
I'm gonna add more. I'm gonna add more to it.
Long and longer. I didn't like your tone. I just didn't like the tone to it at all.
You know, in my mind, I was like, I'm not gonna slip. I'm not gonna slip up. And out the gate, man.
That's what they all say.
Fell into it.
We catch the best of them. We catch the best of them.
Jared even warned me, man. He warned me.
Got him. You know what I'm saying?
We got him.
Oh man.
But yo, bro, this is we're gonna have a good. I can tell off the rip, man. But let's start from the beginning, bro. Because we like the premise of More Than Title. First of all, anybody who's new to the channel, right? It's all about talking to brothers like Jamar, entrepreneurs, people who are impacted the community and doing impactful things just worldwide, man. Running businesses, running family, doing the right things, and this is what we want to celebrate. But in order to know the businessman, we want to know the person, right? Because we more than a title, all of us, right? So with that said, bro, what's tell us beginning, man. Tell us about your upbringing, some of your early influences, and then we'll segue into the business.
Yeah. I mean, my upbringing was I definitely think unique in the sense that I guess I'll fast forward right to high school, because I basically went to 4 different high schools in 3 different states. So right away I got to get cultured just in different spaces. 2 were in, it was Tulsa East in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And then have you guys ever been to Wisconsin before?
Nope.
Come on, bro.
Okay.
I would like to.
Look at us, bro. What if we in Wisconsin, we've been in Wisconsin for one reason and one reason only.
For the low.
You're for the low.
Message.
Buy some more.
Got him for 20, got him off for 40.
I'm going, ladies and gentlemen, for people that can't see us, not to say that there's not black and brown people in Wisconsin, but that look like us, negative. If we go to Wisconsin, we can't have no tints on the car.
You got too much tint on your glasses. They'll pull you over.
I swear to God, I'm driving a 10 and 2. I'm driving 3 under the speed limit.
Yeah. I mean, I think you also got to have somebody show you around, man. It's because the thing is just like because I've traveled a lot of different places. Mm-hmm. It's just like any smaller city, you don't know about it until you know about it. That's just the thing. So once you get somebody give you the tour, of, hey, this is what's going down. I had a guy, so we did we'll get to this later, but we had our conference last year, Summerfest grounds, and I flew out my guy from LA, and he had never been to Milwaukee before. And he spent like 3 days there and was like, dude, I'm about to move here. It's beautiful.
Okay.
I mean, he just was, I couldn't, he spoke so highly of the place. He was like, dude, I didn't know this existed over here. I thought all you guys had were cows, cheese, and
That's why I'm the Packers.
I'm
When you
just
come
saying,
to the Bronx, you're gonna be like, oh, I can't wait to get back to Milwaukee.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Jamar, man. I'm gonna give you kudos, man, because it sounds like you're a real good brother. But flying a dude out is crazy.
Really?
For a conference though, if he might have been a speaker.
The way he say I flew him out.
A little Uzi-ish.
He was a speaker, man. He was a speaker. He was a speaker, man.
You say I invited him to the conference. He gave it the fact you just like, I flew him out, and then he wanted to move out. But listen to what you said. I flew him out. We had such a good time. He wanted to move there. That sounds like a Diddy.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like something else going on.
Now that he put it that way.
I wasn't even thinking that way.
And after 3 days, he didn't want to go back home. Okay, there's a good time, and then there's the good time. What you having in Milwaukee, homie?
The good time.
I'm just saying, man.
Oh no.
Was this before or after the Bucks won the championship? Because time is relevant to understand the party scene in Milwaukee. I'm sorry, I don't care.
It was after the championship.
Okay, but there was some parades and shit going on. Okay,
he was there as a speaker on a panel.
Okay, you got it.
So, I paid for a number of speakers to be flown out.
But you said something interesting too, bro. You said you was in what 4 high schools, right, bro? Why so many schools? Why the moves? Or was you like a military family or something?
So my family moved around a lot, just due to jobs. During that time, a lot of layoffs and stuff were happening. So my dad kind of went around to wherever the job was at. So it was two schools in Wisconsin, and then North Carolina, Charlotte, and then Virginia is where the last stop was. And it just really opened my mind up to so many different. Now at the time, I was honestly an angry individual. Definitely not who you see today. I was definitely pissed off at the world.
Okay, let's talk about that. Why are you pissed off at the world, bro?
Well, what happened is when I moved from the one high school to the other one, I went to basically predominantly all white school, and I had experienced racism for the first time really in my life. And especially as you probably can only imagine with it in Wisconsin.
Okay.
It was like I was the only black dude in the school, and then there was another half black dude, but he played in football. So he already kind of got the pass, and I was kind of like the outcast dude. And so experiencing that for the first time, I kind of did all the right things first, and then I didn't really get a response. I didn't really get any help. And so then I just kind of turned inward, and then I'm like, well, I'm gonna take matters in my own hands. And then I just started being reckless, because I know I mean the teachers were racist. Like there were certain teachers that were just failing me just because I literally copied a kid's test, and then the same answers. He got an A, and I got like a D.
Message.
for no opinion, because I wanted to test it. I literally wanted to test it. And so there was a lot of other things happened too, and it just progressively got worse. So I was actually glad. Now I look back, I'm glad that we moved into Charlotte because I got out of that environment, but then I kept the anger with me. So then that just started to spiral, just to hang in, with different people that probably weren't the best. And I basically just stayed angry, man, until like about 19 years old. So it was about 15 to 19 years old. Super angry individual. I saw counselors, priests, therapists, I mean, you name it, to try to get me out of that fog that I was in. Because I think a lot of people, when they're hit with life, they turn to anger and or even worse, sometimes they'll turn to drugs, addiction, other things like that. They try to find some kind of vice to help cope with life that's actually happening to them. And when you don't have that right circle around you to help you kind of navigate through that space, that's, you know, you just revert back to what's getting you through. And, you know, for me, it was anger. I mean, and I look back now and I'm, you know, I'm thankful that I had that experience then to transition to where I'm at today, because now I'm really relatable to a lot of these other younger kids growing up, and they just pissed off at the world because of whatever their reason is. But I'm like, dude, I've been there. I've been there, man, and it's not a happy place to be in. Um, you know, so it definitely helped when I kind of transitioned. And honestly, what got me out of it was once again just changing my circle. So as then I after high school, actually I moved back up to crazy enough, I moved from Virginia back up to Wisconsin because that was where most of my initial friends were at. And also back then it was for a girl. So I went up there and then I started to start working different jobs, different odd end stuff, and then eventually got an opportunity to work in IT. And honestly, that's kind of what changed my mindset to kind of get me out of there. And then also, ironically, a network marketing company that I think everybody eventually gets roped into something.
One of them M&M ones, the multi-level marketing.
Yeah, it was one of those. But the dude seemed mad successful, you know.
Yeah, if you just sell 100,000 things, then you could be up here and look at my Porsche. They got me too, bro.
Yeah, they got you too. See,
they got me too, bro. I was there for a day or two.
They get everybody because they first started in Virginia, and then I kind of got acclimated in there, and then once I moved to Wisconsin, actually a buddy of mine got me into there, and then since I already trusted him and knew him, got me into it. And then I started to, the one good thing is it did start to expand my mind because, they really try to drill home that you got to build your own wealth and you got to build your own success. And, they really program that entrepreneur mindset and, in you. And that's the one positive piece about it. The other part was that, I really wasn't making any money, through it.
Message.
That's real.
I had to get out eventually. But I really stayed in because of the people at the time that were in it. So it was definitely that's why I preach with the change your circle, change your life. Like you got to get around people that are like-minded, driving in the same direction as you. Otherwise, it is extremely hard to break free. It is so hard to just flip on something for yourself and then be like, yo, I'm going to change. And then even if you want to, if you're not around those people, it's so easy to revert back. It's so easy to just, it's like a rubber band. You're just going to go right back to whatever you're doing. So,
message.
Said something real quick on the multi-level marketing joint, because we're both personal brand guys, right? So for those who've ever been approached by those multi-level marketing guys, basically what you're doing is you're relying on the relationships and the people within your network, and you're selling those people. And then once you grab them into the network, they sell, you get a commission off of what they sell. And that's what the pyramid is, right? And that's what we preach on personal branding, right? Why would I leverage my personal brand to big up another company when I could utilize it for myself? And that's where the entrepreneurship comes in, right? So that's something that's super important, bro. And then you also said something about changing your life, changing your circle. I think a lot of times in our community, we don't know where to start. We don't know what we don't know. Like, how do you change your circle, right? I know a lot of people. If I was to go to tell somebody right now, or if you was in my neighborhood, we walking in the Bronx, right? I got somebody who's never left the neighborhood, and you tell him to change your circle, change his life. What does that mean to him? How would you approach it to him?
To me, it's in a 3-step process. So first, first you got to unlock your self-awareness. That's the key. Too many of us are walking around like zombies, bro. Zombies.
Facts.
Literally going through the motions. You don't even, that's why people call it the midlife crisis, because all of a sudden one day you're 45, you wake up and you're like, whoa, what happened? I got 5 kids. I've been divorced twice. I'm still working this crappy job. I don't know what's you're like
in a minute. Damn! Astro van going to soccer practice. Like I used to be lit.
You're like, why am I in this spot? And you have this like, what in the world? And then you start doing crazy stuff because, you know, you just trying to break the cycle. So if I would meet somebody today, is first you got to unlock your self-awareness. And I feel like, and I won't dive into it too deep, but there's 4 ingredients to unlocking your self-awareness. So one is fear. So what are you afraid of? And recognizing fear and understanding you got to punch through it. You got to recognize it and punch through it. Most people are paralyzed, you know, when they get fearful about something, or even worse, they turn the other way and they run. So they got to understand fear and be real comfortable with it and know that you're never going to beat fear, but you're never going to be fearless, but you got to be able to punch through it every single time. You know, as you guys are building up your podcast, there's certain levels of different fear of like, hey, if we do this or we do that, like you guys went with the live network, you could go with anyone. You know, there's all these choices and ways you got to move and operate, but you got to be able to punch through fear every single time to get to your goals or where you want to go. And then the next one is confidence. You got to have some confidence in yourself, man, to push through. I mean, you have to build up that confidence through repetition, through trying things. But you got to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself to start with, like, you're not going to get anywhere else. Because if you're waiting for everybody else to believe in you, oftentimes you got to believe in yourself first, you know, to even go forward with that. The next one is
you take them to school real quick. I'll give you the bell.
Yeah. Let's take them to school. Let's take them to school.
Second period, y'all. We talking change your life. Straight up.
So perspective, man. So the first time I went to London, man, it changed my whole viewpoint of everything. So oftentimes, I'm not saying you got to go outside the country, even though I highly recommend it, to see different cultures, see different, you know, how other people are living, man. Because you know, when people live in their own space, in their own environment, you think that's it. That's it. Your block is it. You know, your little community is it in the whole world. The whole world's massive. And so the more you can get outside of that comfort zone and get into new environments, new experiences, the more you can open up that perspective to say, dude, there's more to life, man. We could do more. We could be more, you know? So you start to expand that mindset and then you start to do incredible things. And then the last one is self-love, man. If you got to love yourself a little bit more. How much are you pouring into other people? And how much have you poured into yourself lately? You know,
yeah, I can scream. Yeah, that's real, man. That's a problem in the community.
For that.
It's a huge problem. Huge problem. Oftentimes I ask people, like, you've invested everything into everybody else in your life. When have you invested in yourself, man? Just once. Just once. Just really think about, when have I sat down for myself and did something for myself because I wanted to do that? It's so important. So the more you can unlock that self-awareness and really help, you know, really develop all those different ingredients for yourself, you start to unlock it where you start to be aware of what's actually happening around you. And then you have to evaluate your current circle. So the better you can evaluate your circle, the better you know how to get into new ones. So if you want to evaluate your current circle, go by yourself, spend that self-love, that time on yourself, take a piece of paper and write down everybody's name that's directly in your life. Everybody's name. So the people, if you send let's say the last 30 days, who's everybody that you've been in contact with? Friends, family, colleagues.
Johnny, Ray, Joaquin, Deshaun.
I was like, no, he's not naming people, man.
Deshaun
and the Ray.
You're supposed to be by yourself.
Deshaun just sound like he's talking.
Ty Black.
Bugs.
Lil Tay. Big Tay.
So you're gonna regret saying all these names if these people are in your life, because of the next part. So the next part is, once you write down all these names, you simply want to put a plus or a minus next to the name. Are they adding to your life, or are they subtracting from your life? You know, are they a leech? Are they a parasite? Are they a vampire that's draining your energy? Got their teeth right here and just draining your energy? Or are they into your life? Are they a positive beacon of hope, inspiration, motivation? Are they pushing you to be better? You know, those are the people that you put down the plus sign for. And then you really want to write down, or you want to write this stuff down and then see how many pluses do you have and how many negatives do you have. And you want to see roughly, you know, if you got a lot of negatives, you definitely got to change your circle like ASAP, because now you look at like, why am I at the spot where I'm at? It's probably because of this. And then another add-on piece that I tell people is that start to also add in what these people make per year, just roughly. If you roughly know, just write down what they roughly, because you're oftentimes going to be the average of whatever that number is. So if you add up each one of those numbers, you're probably gonna be the average. You got to be around other people that are aspiring or going in that same direction and being where you want to be. And then the last thing, you got to get into other circles, man. So you got to start to change up whatever that pattern is that you have and be intentional about stepping outside your comfort zone and getting into those other circles. So if that's going into meetups, if that's following your podcast more than a title and actually connecting with some of these incredible guests that you're having on here, if that's going out to events, conferences, networking stuff, if that's, pinging some different people that are doing different stuff on social media and say, hey man, I just want to learn. I just want to learn I'll do whatever. Like, let's let me know where I need to be at. I'll carry a bag, whatever, just be in the space and just start to change your circle, man. So that's a very long-winded answer, but it's a step process where you got to work on yourself before you start changing your circle. Because if I give you opportunities, if I gave somebody right now an opportunity and they haven't unlocked their own self-awareness to even be able to take advantage of the opportunity, it's going to be a disservice to them.
Got to be able to provide value. Facts.
Yeah.
All facts.
We talk about everything that you said. We've talked about extensively on the show. So you're definitely on the right track. Me and Cuzzo have talked about it. Different words, same exact mentality, goal, exactly what you've said. I've said it a million times. My cousin said it a million times. I think for us is just trying to find a way for it to be more easily digestible. Because one of the biggest things that people are afraid of in the world is change.
Yeah.
When you get somebody that has learned behavior, that has now done something so many times that they accept it as what behavior should be, when you introduce change, if you introduce change at such a large, scale, they're going to reject it because mentally it's going to overload them. So what me and Cuzzo try to do is try to implement small changes, right? So like with fitness, right? Like I have a fitness company. One of the first things we teach in fitness is the education of fitness, right? Let me explain to you why you should work out. Let me explain to you what working out actually does and the differences between fat burning, calorie burning, so you can understand what you're doing before we even touch the weights. Because if you understand, then if I'm not there, you can do it on your own.
Right.
You can understand why you're doing it. And you can start the process there, because any change is always multi-layered, right? I've never seen somebody change their life and it not be a multi-layered system. First step, this, second step, even with recovering addicts, right? One of the biggest things that our people suffer with is addiction on different levels, right? But what is addiction? The 7 steps, right? So everything is multi-layered. I think as a culture, we just need to identify a way to just try to simplify some of these things so that people that are not of a same intelligent acumen can still get it, because it's so basic that they can be like, I understand it. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
I definitely understand it. I think the one thing, especially when you're talking about our community, I think that the one thing that I've seen time and time again is that there is a deep level of oftentimes trauma and things that they especially within your childhood, that you really have to overcome. So even, yes, I agree about making it simple, but it's a lot of work that needs to be done to get somebody over that, to have that aha moment and then start to receive and be open to receiving a lot of stuff. And that's why traditionally, especially within our community, we're, averse to healthcare and just trusting other people, even if it's in our best interest. Like, yo, get your blood, pressure checked.
Simple
just
shit,
get it checked, man. Like, no, man, I don't need that. I don't know what they trying to do to me, man. It's like, dude, just get it checked, dude. Just get it checked. It's like, but there's something deep within us that, we have to be able to overcome to even receive it. So I definitely agree about, simplifying it, but I think we also got to go in deeper with ourselves,
No, I'm with you.
A lot of soul searching.
No, Jamar, I'm with you 100%. All I'm saying is just think of the story that you just said, right?
Yeah.
It took you 4 high schools technically to graduate high school, right? Because your father was moving around. It took me 4 elementary schools to graduate elementary school.
Yeah.
Like, do you see the difference?
Yeah.
Not because my family was moving around, because I kept getting kicked out grade after grade. You understand?
Right.
So we speak to we had a guest on a show named Danny Benson. She has a program that she's introducing to legislative called Self-Love Day. Self-Love Day. What that legislative says is it acknowledges that we have trauma, but not only trauma from growing up in life, but trauma that's handed down generationally through genetics, right? The untaught trauma, right? That we need to start reprogramming our children at the younger stages of life, 5, 6, 7, before they become embedded in that learned behavior. They understand their triggers. So when I say simplifying it, so while we're teaching them ABCs and we're teaching them the fundamentals of learning, start then. Because what's the best time to teach a child language and sciences and mathematics, right? It's at a young age, because they're a sponge. They'll soak up everything, right? So when I say it like that, I think if we do it at a younger age and we start with the basics as we teach education, then by the time they get to the preteen years, when they start to become solidified right before high school, they understand that they can acknowledge their triggers, and then the more advanced techniques will become more easily accepted to them because they have the basis of the foundation. That's what I
would. No, that's and I would love that. I mean, that the whole system needs to be changed in the beginning.
Facts.
Yeah, cousin.
But I was just gonna also add, bro, like it's also knowing your audience.
Yeah.
Knowing who you're speaking to, right? In order to change your circle as well. And I'll just tell you, like, real talk, I didn't have no fucking mentors when I first started in sales and marketing, bro. It was me figuring this shit out, working hard, knowing that I had to work 2-3 times as hard to get a promotion, had to cut my hair to get, to get promotions and all those things, right? But then when I wanted to change my circle, I was like, I want to be a C-suite. I had to shoot my shot. But how I speak to my mentor is going to be completely different from how I speak to my bros on the block, right? I got to be able to change the message, keep the message the same, but be able to change it towards whoever the audience is, right? And I'll give people like a just quick example. Like when I first got my mentor, he was a successful entrepreneur with 80 stores. We have 0 in common, right? So when he first got on the call, he's like, yo, what do you want out of this? And I just kept it real. I was like, yo, bro, I just want to learn. Like 5 years from now, I want to be at the barbecue, our kids playing together. You know what I'm saying? Like let's simplify it that way, right? Whatever happens is going to happen from our relationship, but I just want a real personal relationship, somebody that I can pour into, and vice versa. Now, 2-3 years in, we're sitting there, we're having real shit. We're having real conversations. I'm like his therapist. He's my, you know what I'm saying? I'm going through this. Yo, even real talk. Me and cousin arguing right now. What do we do? Yo, we going through a tough patch in the business. What do we do? Do this, move this around, and you need that. So shoot your shots, y'all. We be so fucking scared to shoot our shots when we are the most creative culture in this fucking planet. Shoot the shot. Be creative with it too.
Yeah, you got to shoot your shot, man. I totally agree with that. And then the fact that you are even in that mindset to look and search and ask for a mentor is also a big plus, man. Big plus.
We know it all. You know how we do. It's like, yo, I don't need it. Like same thing with mental health. I don't need a therapist.
Yeah, I don't need a therapist. I don't need nobody. I'll do it myself. It's like, you need somebody.
Then 3 months later, you with the stupid face.
Right.
This is with us. We gotta stop.
Why is it so hard, bro?
Let me say this too, though. That wasn't me, Jamar. That was not Jamar. That was not me, bro. That was Jamar. Look. I gave you the pass on that one, beloved. I gave you the pass.
I gave
you the pass on that one, beloved. I ain't gonna hold you. I'll give you a pass on that one.
You know, it's so funny. I feel like I've been in the Midwest so long. This only happens when I talk to my people from New York.
Oh yeah,
You
we
know,
immature like that.
this
You damn right we
only
are.
happens then, bro.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys and Rush kid. You know what I'm saying? But let me say this to you, right? As an inner city youth child that experienced that, we reach out a lot more than people give us credit for. It's just what language are we using? Sometimes your anger, Jamal, you acting out is a cry for help.
Right.
When I acted out, it was a cry for help. It's me saying my circumstances frustrating me so much that I don't know what to do, so I'm just lashing out, right?
Right.
So now let's think about that. So if you think about it in those terms, how many young youth kids ask for help indirectly, right? And we misinterpret the asking for help as you're just bad or you're misbehaving because you don't know better. There's a little bit of like, it's not a perfect science, right? But it's when you look at a child that lives a certain way and then acts a certain way, well, he's a product of his environment. He doesn't know any better, right? So we talked about it. Me and Cuzzo was saying, how do you explain to a fish the concept of water? How do you explain water to a fish? How do you? The fish gonna be like, what the fuck are you even talking? You understand?
You have to explain. They have to know land,
right?
In order to know what water is, right? You have to have the contract.
But now, think about an animal. So he used land. Think about an animal that doesn't live in water, right? You might drink water, but you understand you're a land-based animal, but now you're doing things that fishes do. And it's like, why would you even, you're not a fish. Why do you keep trying to you understand?
Such a good example. Such a good example.
Right. So now we have to look at that person and say, you have no reason to do this.
Yeah.
See, you understand what I'm saying? You have absolutely no reason to do this. And then, put it in a different category than a person that is just lashing out because they just don't know how to express themselves creatively. They don't know how to express themselves and ask for help. They have so much energy that they just don't know where to focus their energy. So the easiest thing is just the negative shit.
Yeah,
absolutely. But like you said, though, it's the self-awareness, right? And traveling, seeing shit, right? We don't know what's possible. So we don't know that the land exists. We are just
don't even know it's there, man.
We don't even know it's there. You know, the land is over there. There's an ocean across the highway. If we just get to this moment, and that's the problem, y'all. We just have to expand our mind. We so closed-minded sometimes, bro. And like what? Because you said you was around a lot of entrepreneurs and stuff like that, right? So 19, you said you was acting out, you was lashing out, you got your stuff together. You was on a multi-level marketing. There was a lot of entrepreneurship. Like, how did that help you, bro? Like, how did that help you change your mind from that?
Yeah, it helped a lot, man. Because I'll tell you what, like. It really helped expand my mind because I'm seeing all these other people, I mean, some of them were actually making money, but there's only a small few because, they bring you to little meetings and then they got the people that go up there and like, oh, I'm making $10,000 a month. I'm like, shoot, like, all right, I probably should pay attention, and so you start to like expand your mind, through that. But at the same time, what was amazing is I'm learning this stuff. I was also working in my job in IT, which at the first like 2-3 years, I didn't really care about it, but I was learning through that. But I was also deep into music. So everything that I was learning, I was applying to music. So I would learn these business things and then apply it to my own, sound, or if the people I was reaching out to, different marketing strategies, or how to get more bookings, how to get connected with influential people. I was basically taking everything and I started to apply it because now, and it's funny about that story because that it's almost like I started to discover water, like in that concept. Like I was like, here I'm always land. I started to discover the water and I'm like, oh man, I could go over there. And this is how I'm going to get there. And so I actually started to apply it right away. And that's one thing about me is like I've always been a sponge, for knowledge, man. I just need to know the inner workings. How does it work? And then I'm really good at actually applying it. So I'm not just gonna think about it for forever. I'm actually gonna apply it,
Message.
help get my music out there. And that's where actually I started to see the ramp ups of just performances and actually growing an audience. Back then it was like MySpace into Facebook and then SoundCloud and that kind of era. So it was just like learning about how to really optimize your audience and keep growing that, and then also how to get bookings even outside your own state, and then that's where all the tours and stuff came from.
What was the most, and I'll give you a quick my story too, but I want to know your most creative marketing tactic you used to get the bookings, right? So one time,
yeah.
I know when I was on LinkedIn, I don't know if you saw it, but it's something that went viral, bro. I was looking for a new job. I quit my job. I was working at an agency. Was tired of working with them. I put my face on Steph Curry's body, photoshopped it, and then did it like Woj, make an announcement like free agency in the NBA. I was like, yo, Jared has now left the team, and he's looking for a championship roster. These are his stats, and yada, yada, yada. And it went viral, bro. I got 100K views. I got reached out from Google, LinkedIn, Microsoft, you name it, bro. And I landed at Hootsuite. I'm like, the natural progression from what I'm doing is to work with social media. If I can teach what I'm doing and applying to myself to other businesses, then I can skyrocket, and that's what happened. So what was like one of the best marketing strategies you applied to get those bookings?
Yeah, that's super dope. By the way, I didn't know that story. That's super dope. So mine was more like a process. So my kind of the way on how I got the 100, doing 100 shows a year was I was tired of going through the gatekeepers. Like when you go to these venues, these clubs, these bars, all this other stuff, you got to go through all these gatekeepers. And I was just tired of it, man. I'm making so many phone calls, tired of it. So I was like, man, I want to be where my audience at. And at the time I was like, man, colleges. That's where my audience is at, because they're open to new music. They're open to, something different. They kind of want to be against the grain. So if they find somebody hot that not everybody knows about, they're gonna go down that route. And so what I did is I first started just calling the colleges, and they weren't returning my calls.
Cold call, back to that. Doesn't work. Hated it. Wait, hold on. Wait, I needed it. Need my line. Where's it at? You cold call it. We trying to press it at the same time.
Hated it.
Yo, but it was miserable because the college is so huge and they don't even know how to handle your call, even if they wanted to book
Where
you.
they patch you into.
So what I did is I basically, to fast forward the story, I attached myself to something bigger than just my music. So what I did is I had a family member that passed away from cancer. And I was like, well, there's a student organization that it actually is all about helping, people that are going through, cancer, or they have family members that are going through cancer. And that's through American Cancer Society, called Relay for Life. And so what I did is I made a whole tour campaign called We Are Cancer Tour, saying we're all going through this together. And I said, I'll perform at these Relay for Life events. The funny thing is that no rapper is doing this. No rapper is going to these Relay for Life. And sometimes there are thousands of people at these events, at these colleges. So what I did is I started to, know exactly the student activities organization you have to contact. So I knew exactly who to go to, who to ask for, say, hey, here it is. Here's my EPK. Let me know if you guys wanted me to do something. And they were ecstatic to have me call, because they're like, dude, no one calls here. And we got a budget for you. And we got, and they're like, yo, we can get you out here. We got a budget, and you'll be the only act that's really out here. We got a bunch of other activities, but no one else is doing hip hop. And I was like a motivational hip hop artist. So what I did is, so then I started to book one. And once I got one, it was easy to book the other ones. And that's how I was able to, I was performing for thousands, bro. Thousands of people at these Relay for Life events, full stage, everybody right in front. And it just, and then once I actually started to see where the cities were, and then it was just so easy, because then universities are everywhere. So I was like, let me just do all of like Midwest first. Okay, let me go East Coast. And then like I just started to snowball it. And then I was able to get the clubs and the venues, because I already was booked at the colleges. So once I called the club or the venue, I was like, I'm already performing here. I'm only in the city for like 2 days. So if you want me to come through, I can bring like 50, 100 people to your place, like easy.
Message.
It was such a, so that was my, like, the best marketing idea that I had. And also I got people to really care about the music, because I had like a real like mission behind the music, because people could attach themselves to it. So that was definitely, yours was more of a viral. Like, I wish I would also had that, because I wasn't doing quite the social as good as I feel like I should have.
Nah, bro,
But yeah,
that takes a lot of legwork. It takes a lot of grind. It takes a lot of research to do the path that you did, bro. And that's something the same thing that you said. And that's what I want people to know. When I first started sales, I didn't know fucking sales, bro. I was just like, all right, I had a vertical, and it was like, yo, sell something that you know. I knew home theaters, bro. I called every single home theater person on fucking Yelp. I closed 70% of them, because once you know John's problem, then you know Scott got the same problem. Then Baron has the same problem. And that's what you applied to yourself, and you differentiated your brand. When everybody's looking for the club and going that way, you fucking made a direct left, and you're in your own lane. And now you can bring people on. And now you can show the way. And now you can sell that service if you decided to.
Yeah.
Brilliant, bro.
100%, man. 100%.
I think it's a brilliant idea. But it goes back to, again, him having that self-confidence to say, you know what, nobody's ever doing this, so I don't have nobody to look at in front of me and say, what did they do wrong? What did they do right? And use them as an example to make my show better. I am the guinea pig. I am the, you know what I mean? Run over the hill and get shot with 100 arrows, then come back like, the Indians over there. You know what I'm saying? British is coming. You know what I mean? So, I commend you for that, Jamar, man. It's clear that you have a very forward-thinking mind, and that's dope. You know what I mean? I commend you for that. Not a lot of people have that ability to do that. I think, and this is why young education is so important. We have to start realizing what our talents are individually and stop trying to copy paste somebody else's. You understand? And we talk about this on the show extensively, right? Some people are just born to be who they are. Not to say that you can't, have similar attributes, but some people are just born to be who they are. Perfect example, if you're looking at social media, in this generation that's been coming up, I've seen more child prodigies than I think we've ever seen in a lifetime. How many child prodigies you see now? 12 years old, 52 colleges, 5 million in scholarships, the first Black twins that graduate. You understand? They're just born to be who they are, and then the support system comes in and embraces it and supports them. You know what I mean? So that's why, again, I just think it's so important for us to really start paying more attention to the youth, acknowledging the fact and supporting the fact that, hey, listen, man, you might not be like a super forward thinking guy, but you're a super technical guy, which is no slight to you. Your brain just is wired different. So maybe your job or what you could do is more mechanical based, more engineering based. You understand what I'm saying? And start supporting people instead of what we used to do back in the day was make fun of people. You know what it is?
Right. Yeah.
Fun of each other. Oh, you a dumbass. You don't know shit.
Yeah.
Or the nerds and the guys that were actually doing something. Oh, you pocket protector ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? Instead of thinking and saying, damn, man, maybe I could learn from this dude. Damn, maybe this is the guy I need to be following instead of these guys. And then eventually you walk into a situation where you're like, holy shit, you're my boss. Or you got interview right after I used to fucking throw your hat in the swamp. I ain't never getting this job.
I'm about to say you gonna be working for him is what's gonna happen.
Right, you gotta be cleaning toilets for the rest of my life.
And speaking of that too, I do want to go quick shout out, man. Shout out to my sis Carmen Ayala. Her son Karim just got accepted to Yale. Young Black kid, 17 years old, just got accepted to Yale. I told I promised that I would shout him out. Shout out to Karim. Just let you know, brother, you come from a great family, man, and we're so proud of you, man. Shout out to Yale. We got one of our own, and he's gonna be I think he's gonna bio. So, I know he's a chemistry stuff like. I don't know the exact one. My fault, man. But we love what you're doing. Straight up.
Jeez.
Hey, man, I would say shout out to his support team that helped him to get there, right? Because yes, he might have it here, but he had to have a support team acknowledge that he was a certain level of intelligence, what he wanted to do, and help to mold him and show him that you can be that, right? Because guess what? Once again, let's talk about the root of the problem. A lot of us inner city youth that are coming up can never even think about understanding what our true potential is because of the lack of resources that we have to even acknowledge what it is. So even if I'm a genius, if I got to fight to eat or I got to fight to survive, you're in survival mode. All the rest of that smart shit, that goes out the window.
Message.
You understand? Inventing and whatever you want, guitarist, it doesn't matter. All that should go out the window because it's fight or flight, right? So it's that fight mode now, that survival mode, unfortunately, that so many people live in, that until you can get out of that, how you actually concentrate on anything else.
Yeah. So
You understand what I'm saying?
that's why the survival piece of it is like the first thing that you have to, get right. Like you gotta be able to eat, live, have a roof over your head, and just be able to think. Like you can't think if you're on survival mode, man.
Message.
Facts, bro. And that you opened up, you said you took that lane. We asked this question a lot, bro. It can either be big business or do your career, your rap career, bro. What was the mama made it moment for you, bro? What was one of the moments you was like, I arrived? You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that, but I wasn't gonna ask this, but you said that, and it kind of got my wheels thinking. So when you answer that, I got a crazy question for you next, I've never asked.
Okay,
let's go.
I got one for you
hard today.
I got one for you now.
Okay, I feel like there were, since I've lived so many different like time periods, I feel like there were different moments within my life that I feel like, it's about more of like what, I've created something and then actually seeing it happen is kind of crazy. So, I mean, for music wise is when I booked out my own venue. I put up my own money up. It was during the tour. It was at Turner Hall, and I had about 400 or 500 people in one spot, and I was the headliner. I booked the opening acts and everything. Like that moment for me was like, bro, like no one could tell me nothing. Like because no one in the city was doing that. No one in the city, especially in Milwaukee, was doing that. And I had done bigger shows, but the fact I put my own money up, I did my own thing, and like it was my show at an amazing venue like that. That was on the music side, that was it for me. And I would say on the business side, for me, it was when we did our first event, first Lead the Movement business conference, and I rented out the Pfizer Forum arena and did an amazing like marketing, business, community event all smashed into one with a concert at the end. It just was incredible to see it happen because so much, and my team did so much just to make that whole thing happen. And just to be a first of its kind like that, it was just magical, man. That was a magical moment.
That's fine. I know we're gonna get to it later. I want to talk logistically about that too, and the investment that you put into that, but we're gonna go into it later.
I just want to lighten it up a little bit. I want to lighten it up because we're talking about music so much. And like, so since you did music, you start low and now you doing these shows. I want to know your biggest groupie moment. Like, what was the biggest groupie moment, Jamar Jones? Did somebody come up to you with a titty tattoo or something? You know what I'm saying? With your face, put your face on the cheek or something like that.
What the is wrong with this guy? Am I kidding me or what?
Now listen, because
I've never been asked this question.
We always, we keep
only more than
real. We talk the real, we talk the business and the marketing and stuff, but sometimes just like to shake it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Anybody that did music that gets to a certain level where you doing shows and stuff like that, it's no way you telling me you have fans and you didn't have a groupie moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I want to know what was your biggest group. You can have the Mama Made It, and now I want to hear the Susie Made It.
Susie.
Go to the hotel room and she's waiting. I wish the biggest groupie moment you ever had. I would hear that. Let me hear that.
So there. Oh man, I've never been asked this question.
Y'all did it.
There you go.
Hold on. Let me get the bell ready. We're going into fourth period. Right.
Yo, this is so funny. This is so funny. Because that is true. Like you start doing more and more shows, there was definitely some flash moments. Ladies were flashing, out in the crowd. That happened at what concert was that? Oh, that's when I opened up for Yellow Wolf. And so that did happen. And then
wasn't he signed to Shady and them for a while too?
Yeah, he
yep,
brought it,
yep. That's who signed Shady.
That's Slaughterhouse pickup,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
And
House
so
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yep. And Machine
yep,
Gun.
Machine Gun Kelly. Yep, all that. So that's where that happened. And it's funny because like I probably on the stage that was the most, but like when we used to
Come on, Jamar.
We used to, our crew, right? Our
Yeah.
crew, we used to hit up like these house parties.
Okay.
And the house parties, so we go to these colleges, and so obviously there's house parties. And what we wanted to do is like we wanted to go in there and like play our music, right? We wanted everybody to start rocking with us. And then like, back then we were like freestyling, getting everybody around in a circle and all that stuff. And so so there's definitely some close times
Close times.
that there were definitely some women that were a little extra thirsty, I would say. And so like even leaving, sometimes we were followed. Like, wait, where you guys gonna be at? And like we were a lot younger, man. This is like, how old was I? Probably like 20, like early 20s.
Okay.
Early 20s. And they would just be following us. Definitely the signing. Yep, the signing was happening right on the.
Yep.
This is this for me.
Definitely.
Did the Bobby Brown?
Hell no, to the no.
He said, Jamar said, you thought I was going to say that online? You thought I was going to make the reference to that on IG Live?
I got sponsors watching, bro. You trying to set me up?
I got sponsors watching.
You feel me? Damn it!
I'm in a different stage in my life right now.
Message.
No, listen, I'm gonna tell you why I asked that, right? I'm gonna tell you why I asked that. Because for me, my moment was
Oh shoot.
when so I had, when I started music, long story short, I got the record label. I had developed my own record label, my own company, and I had a nice detailed logo, right? And that moment for me was when somebody hit me like, "Yo, I want to show you something." So I'm like, "What?" And they sent me a picture and they got it tattooed on them.
What?
Crazy, right? Crazy.
A real tattoo?
Swear to God, like right here on the hip, like right on the hip bone, like right above the hip bone, right? So I was like, "What?" Once I seen that, I went crazy. That for me was like, "Oh, tattoo is, I know it's real."
Yo, wow.
So now when people after that, people was like, I want to support. You go get that tattoo.
Yeah, you go get tattooed. That's the only way you can one up it.
Now I'm suggesting it. I'm designing them. You should put color in yours. She got black. You should get 3D. You should get some blue. So that's why I asked you that question, right? Because I've done music for about 20 years.
Okay.
And I had an opportunity to work, closely with a lot of celebrities and stuff like that. So I've been around the business and I've seen a lot of craziness and I've heard the stories. But when it happens, when I'm around an artist or a celebrity, somebody, that is more established and it happens to them, it's funny, but it's different when it actually happens to you.
Oh, for sure.
You understand what I'm saying? Right. So that's why I asked you that, man, because I'm like, we all have those experiences where something happened to you and you like, oh shit, wait, for me?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like, whoa.
You pointing at me and she like, yeah, you. You know what I'm saying? Like, not Yellow Wolf, not Uncle Snoop. She said, you, Jamal.
You. Yeah.
So that's why I said, let me ask you that question, because when it happened to me, it was I still got pictures. I still got pictures. I was like, no, that's unbelievable, man.
That's crazy. Never had the tattoo moment.
Yeah.
Never had that.
Yeah, man. And the icing on the cake, Jamal is I don't have not one fucking tattoo, not even a dot. Not even I'm scared to death of needles. As soon as I hear the hell no, I'm gonna give me a like, mama.
I ain't go for. I got one of those. There's a few TNT tattoos floating around. There's a few TNT, few dynamite sticks.
So that's why, even for me, it was so much more crazy, because I'm like, I don't even have a fucking dot. I got scars like a motherfucker, stitches all over. But a tattoo, Hell no. So when somebody else did that for me, it was just like, oh, you can't tell me nothing.
You want to impress us?
That's a
Come through with
life
the more than a title tattoo, y'all,
So,
ladies.
so hold on, so,
Ladies.
wait a minute. So far, we have not seen a more than the title tattoo yet. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever is the first person, we will promote you. You know, I'm not saying go get it. I'm just saying we have not got a fan or anybody to get the more than the title tattoo. I'm just gonna speak for myself and say I will not be the first.
We gotta pay some bills. We'll be right back.
Shit, if you show your more than a title shirt, we'll promote you. Or your mug, or your hat. You could live stream with your course. All that shit. We're gonna promote you, baby. Come on. What are you doing? You scan that right now. It's gonna take you to all the products that we have. Come on, man.
Crazy.
What else is gonna keep your Henny cold for a 2-hour podcast with one ice cube? It's gonna be the more than a title mug, of course.
That's a fact.
Cut the check. And speaking out to the brothers, man, our brother Kenny, he got a great question. He's a day one support. He wants to know Jamar's take on AI for the creative process.
Yeah. I mean, I think you definitely should use it.
Okay, but when in context though, my problem with AI, bro, is that it doesn't sound like us. If it could be something that can be trained quickly.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what he means, but I know, like you say, using it.
Yeah, I guess when I think of creative process, just from an agency standpoint, like we're using it for copy, we're using it for maybe graphics or whatever. I just talked about this at a speaking engagement I had last week, but I was telling everybody because I got the same question, and I think from a creative process, it's great to get the ideas going. It's like an idea starter, it's brainstorming. It's like, hey, I want to try to do this, and you can kind of type in whatever you need. And you get an output, even if it's graphics or logos, you get an idea. Oftentimes you can't take that literally and be like, oh, that's it, post. Like it's just very rare for that to happen. And I think from musically, that is where I honestly have a problem with it, because musically, like it's funny because on TikTok, I've heard some like good joints,
bro. Them like AI Drake and Kendrick joints.
Yeah, like
I was wishing it was those
AI generated Drake. And the bars are crazy, and I'm just like, how, and that's where it gets scary, man. That's where it gets really scary from an artist perspective, and I don't know from a rights standpoint of like how that all works. And I know that there's probably no rules or regulations around it, at least as of right now. But that's where I feel like it draws the line on it. And I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, in the long run, from the AI, from that standpoint, from somebody taking literally your voice and creating something out of it. I think if this is my belief, if because people have a certain likeness to them, so that is something you can copyright. You have a likeness that people can't use, and they need permission to use that likeness. So I think if somebody literally sounds like Drake, like like you could put, wavelength things right up to it and be like, look, man, this is same tone, same, vernacular, everything. And it sounds like him and that's his likeness, then you shouldn't be able to post that. That's my belief, for that. But
some
I think
of them should be royalty free. Some motherfuckers like Morgan Freeman's voice. Like his voice should be
right.
I just want his motherfucking intro. Every time I do something with Morgan Freeman to say some fire shit.
Dude, I know. He should intro your podcast. That would be dope.
I ain't paying him. I'll tell you that. That's on the real until we pay these bills. I ain't paying.
Ain't in the budget. Ain't in the budget for Morgan Freeman.
In the budget right now. Shit, I'm barely. I gotta pay me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a fact. But speaking of that too, now we talking about that because I want to know I would love to know about your sponsorship approach.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, what advice would you give? So, actually, to give you context, right? So, we're doing an event on LinkedIn this Thursday, bro. One of the topics that on our panel is going to be the power of owning your own media and the lack of corporate investment for Black content creators. So, I would love to get your take on that. Like, what has been your experience, and how have you kind of broke through the door to garner 200K plus in sponsorships?
Yeah. No, it's what's amazing about talking now openly about sponsorships, and actually because that newly was added to my bio, because for the longest, I was just kind of doing it, like under the radar type thing.
Yeah.
what's amazing is that people first, if you have a platform, you do have leverage. So the numbers matter, but if you also the content and the creative that you're posting or your platform provides also has value. So just because, you may think of the largest creators in the world, and you may say, oh, well, they're getting these kind of deals. It's like, even if you're starting out and you have a very niche, topic or platform, and you're speaking to an audience, let's say of a couple thousand or even a couple hundred, you still have the creative as a level of value. Which means that a company or people that want to be in front of your audience, because they're trying to create content as well. And a lot of times that's a lot more costly than somebody paying you a couple grand to be a sponsor of an episode or sponsor of a podcast or sponsor of a show or your content that you're putting out on YouTube. So you can work with these companies, especially the smaller, a little bit of the smaller, like medium-sized companies. You can work with them to figure out what are they looking for and meeting where their goals are at, and then saying, hey, we're producing the content already. We'll, let you put the logo on it, and we'll work out with whatever, the arrangement is. But don't think you have to have millions and millions of views, downloads, whatever that, the top creator metric is for you to get a sponsorship. You really don't. You don't need it. Even from an event standpoint, even if you bring in 50 to 100 people that are within a certain niche, and you're speaking to this group of audience, some company wants to get in front of that. Some insurance company wants to get in front of that. Some, financial company, some real estate, firm wants to get in front of that 100 people, just to have a second to, go in front of the audience, say, hey, this is what we do. We're sponsoring this event. Love to be a part of it. And they may pay you a couple thousand just to get in front of that group.
Message.
That is the, I just first want to say that before we get into the technical aspect of it, because a lot of people think that you have to have the massive audience to get a sponsorship, and you don't.
But how do you price it, right? So something that I think we faced, and I think a lot of content creators face, right? So for instance, we had this conversation with Ashley Sankar. She's a founder of 1920 last week, right? We brought up a fake scenario, right? I've got 100,000 followers, right? And we do a brand collaboration. You got 5,000 followers, but your audience is actually purchasing, and my 100K, they're not buyers, right?
Yeah,
so for instance, I got 100 people, right? But my 100 people are buying. Versus the person has 1,000 people and they're not buying. How should you price out, and how do you value your brand?
Yeah, great question. And so I think that's a two-way answer. The reason is, one is just like anything, and this is kind of what I learned with music. Like when I was doing a lot of shows, how do you price a show? How do you price what you want to charge for you to come out and perform? Usually it comes with confidence. So like, if you know that I can go anywhere and I could charge a stack, or I could charge 5 to go anywhere, or even more than that, then you know that that's your price, and anything comes below, you're like, I don't know. Or maybe you might take it for exposure or whatever your reasoning is, but you get that through confidence and through repetition. So it's the same thing like with an event or even this show. If you feel like, hey, we got to get a stack at least, to do something, then that's your price. The other part of it is like, if the conversion is that high and you can guarantee certain things, like there's certain ways you can structure a deal to guarantee certain results. So if you know your conversion rate, then really push the numbers on somebody and say, you might not get the views standpoint of it, but you're going to get your conversion. And then you'd be like, that's what you charge 1,000. I think from because sponsorships, it also depends about like, what are you trying to cover? So in the beginning, I think that people should price their sponsorships about their actual expenses and the cost that it takes to produce the thing. And then you reverse engineer that to tell people, like, so if your show, per show costs $300 to produce, or $500 to produce, whatever it is, the investment that you put into, for the equipment plus the time and whatever ancillary costs that you have. Just first of all, when you're getting sponsorships, get enough to cover your costs of actually doing it, and that's how you price it. Just cover your costs, and then once the value starts picking up, maybe you're getting some killer guests on here. Maybe the content starts to go viral. Maybe the content itself is produced at such a high quality where a company would have to pay thousands of dollars just to produce the same content. So you kind of figure out exactly what is it going to cost you, what does it take you to put the thing on, and then what's the extra value add that you have to it, and you start to play with the numbers and go up from there. But first get your costs covered, because then if you at least cover the cost, then it's not costing you to do anything for the show, and then it gives you a little extra motivation to be like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this.
Message.
There's no cost to it.
Wait, you're on mute, bro.
Oh, my fault. I said I thought you was gonna give him the baby for that, because that was
Message.
get the baby for that one, because he dropping gems right now.
Never too late.
Gems right now, for real.
No, that's real. That's what we think about, bro, with sponsorship, right? Like, we've had amazing guests on, we've had a few different sponsors on, right? But it's who do we target based on what, right? For instance, right now, what we drink? We're drinking a Blue Moon, right?
Yeah.
I got a White Sox hat. I got this one, right? It's so many. We could go and just who aligns with that business and finding out what their targets from marketing perspective, right? Are you trying to do XYZ? Like, for instance, we're going to con, right? So it's how do we price out us going to con when we're interviewing the biggest names in business, right?
Right.
What that cost?
Right.
You wouldn't necessarily be with them, right? So now, do I charge more for the big brand, or do I charge more for the small brand who wouldn't even be there? So it's things that you have to take in, and it's based on relationship, it's based on the value, it's based on how easy it is to work with each other, what additional resources you're going to provide me to create this excellent content. All those things go into factor, right? And it's just people just don't even get it, right? Like, you know what I mean?
It's no, you're bringing up some really like valid points, because there's a lot of variables to it, and like usually with the bigger brands that you work with, that means the more work that you're probably going to have to do, just because like there's a lot of departments. Like, there's a lot of people that you got to be talking to, and they want to make sure it's perfectly right, and like it just, there's a lot of loopholes and things that you have to go through. So I think from a branding standpoint, for yourself, you want to position yourself and definitely have your I translate so many things from music to business. It's crazy, but have your media kit of what you're doing, and have it really speak very highly of of who you're about and who you serve, and make sure like the pictures, the content, the data is all in there. And as you're pitching it, you also want to tell people the idea that you already have. So you can't just send over blindly the media kit. You have to tell them the idea of what you want out of the relationship, and at least get that as a conversation starter. So most people can't come up with deals on their own. They can't. They need guidance of like, what am I going to get with this? So in your standpoint, when you're going to that event and the type of people you're talking about, the hundreds of thousands of views and downloads and everything that you guys have already accomplished, like I would put all of that into it. And if they're a smaller company, I wouldn't like try to get like the biggest bag, from them. What I would try to do is build a actual relationship and rapport with them and say, look, let's do it right now for this. Come back at, maybe after this event, or even if it's post content that you're doing, or I don't know how you're structuring it, but, and then afterwards, let's revisit, see what this thing looked like, and then let's keep going. And that way you start to at least get somebody in the door, and then start working with them, building rapport. If they start getting their results and you start getting yours, it's a great relationship. And I think for what you guys are doing, personally, I mean, from what I've seen, I wouldn't be charging anything, less than 1,000, 2,000, something like that for any kind of like sponsorship deal, because you guys are already, especially if you're going to be live on site, like there's equipment, production, like there's more stuff with that, and the type of people you're interviewing. Then you're going to post that content that also reaches the digital audience. Like there's a lot that comes with that. So I just wouldn't shortchange yourself in that aspect, because you already built up and you have the data to back up, what you're doing, as far as the platform. So
You gotta listen to him. learn something.
Yeah, I'm talking that shit right now. But what I was just gonna ask you just now too. Ah, fuck! I just had it. It was a great question. Ah, fuck! My bad. I just lost it too. It's about the sponsorship. Fuck. Yo, it was a great question.
Scarface threw you off.
Yeah, bro, it was a great fucking question. No, matter of fact, no. What is
remember?
something like any of your deals, right? What is one thing that you would recommend or advise us to look out for in sponsorship deals? Was it something that you did wrong or something that you learned? What was one of the biggest lessons that you learned from sponsorship that you wouldn't mind sharing with us, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I think so in your deck, this is like pretty technical. What I'm about
Let's
to
go.
what I'm about
Let's
to
go.
say.
But hold on. Let's get you a bell then. Let's get you a bell. We're in fifth period. What are we doing?
This is pretty technical. But in the deck, like make sure that in if you have sponsorship packages, like if it's like, hey, it's this price for this price for that, this, like if there's levels, tiers, however you're doing it, just do it in a way where the money that you're asking for directly goes to, it shows where the money's going. So my biggest mistake that I had when the very first big event that we threw, because I was renting out an arena, I automatically off jump thought like, yo, people got to pay me tens of thousands of dollars, like out the gate. And I didn't really put like exactly what it was about. I tried to like put all the sizzle basically on the different tiers of like, hey, you get this article written about you, you get your logo on this, and you get this type of stage time and the blah blah blah. They don't care about like a lot of that. Most of that stuff they don't care about. They want to know exactly what is that dollar amount, what is it actually going to drive the event forward, and then how can they get their ROI on the event itself. And so if you just make it really simplistic on the deck and don't overcomplicate it, just make it very like, hey, this price for this, and this is what you get. And then also at the bottom, just say like, we're open to customizing any of these packages, because ultimately you got to go for what their goals are. If you're not going to meet their goals, because when you craft your sponsorship package, it should be to meet their goals, not yours. If that means, like it's got to be about what they're doing, not necessarily about like, well, I'm just trying to get this amount of money. I know that on the business side, that's what you want, but to get what you want, you gotta meet their goals, because then they'll continue with you. They'll do it again and again and again, and that's what you want, is the repeat. So my biggest mistake was being just bloat, just like a lot of bloat, just on the whole media kit.
That's real. Now you preaching, bro.
I want to say thank you. And the reason I want to say thank you is because there's not a lot of people that would have actually gave that information. Giving out information and just showing the mistakes that you've made can save somebody else not only time but money, and it can save them the opportunity of not blowing a relationship. You understand what I'm saying? It's not, relationships are based on knowing what to ask and knowing when to ask and knowing how to ask your ask, because you might only get one ask.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people would have never, they think like, oh, if I give the source, they're going to cut me out. They're going to do what I'm doing. We talk about that gatekeeping, right? So that I just want to say thank you for practicing what you preach, right? Not being the gatekeeper and giving out information. Because here's the thing, right? Because nobody's talking about this, and this is the problem that we have, not only with sponsorships, but when somebody comes to you and say, I would like to actually run an ad with you as far as buying, what's your price for buying and things. That you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just buying an ad from you. What does that look like? How much is buying a week worth and 3 ads? Because nobody's talking about these numbers, right? You got a lot of people that are making a lot of stupid ass mistakes because there is no guideline in front of them to even start. So you're either pitching too high, you're pitching too low, you're getting it, and you're like, you know what I'm saying? And I'll give you an example of that. We first started our company. We did it on purpose, but I just want to show you value, right?
Yeah.
We started our company, and one of the guys that gave us a shot right out the gate said, I want you to come teach us a class and do a workshop and blah, 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 blah. We gave him a number, came through and did a 4-hour workshop. I mean, not only in person, but hybrid, had them online through the camera. We went there and fucking bust their ass. At the end of the show, he came back and said, "Yo, I would have paid you like 4 times what you charged me for this event."
Yeah,
and
true story.
You understand what I'm saying? Like we deliberately gave him the love price just to kind of, you know, get up and running. We had just formed the company, got all the paperwork back. We wanted to hit the ground. But again, look at that, right? We could have easily did that, and he could have came back and said, now, what's the difference between a 4X and a 2X? A lot of money. You understand? And especially a young entrepreneurial company on a startup, we could have just went up a little bit comfortably. He would have still came back and was like, I'd have gave you double, triple that. And we'd have a little bit more. So again, like, these are the lessons that this is why we create this platform. This is the primary reason why, right? Why should we, you can't complain about us not understanding what to do, changing the circle, blah, 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 and all the shit that we're talking about, the advanced shit, and then not give somebody information, not the fucking stub they toe or fall into the pothole. You understand? Like, it's like pick your side of the fence, bro, or shut the fuck up, right? So we keep complaining that we're not doing it the right way. What if I come in the game and I want to follow Jamar Jones, but Jamar Jones is not giving me any tidbits of the right thing or the wrong thing? And just me watching you, I try to emulate you, do something so stupid that now it blows your bag.
Right.
You see? And now you're like, why the fuck would you do that? Why wouldn't I do it? I don't know no fucking better.
You gotta listen to him. You learn something.
You understand? We got to stop with that mentality that it's not going to happen to me, or it didn't happen to me, so it doesn't affect me. That's not true, because mistakes affect the culture all the way around the board. Because if I do a mistake and somebody watches my mistake and doesn't know it's a mistake, what do they now do? They emulate my mistake.
Right.
Or for us, just to piggyback off of that, how many opportunities of us, right? We might be the first person to get that opportunity. And if we blow that shit, we mess up the opportunities for everybody behind us.
Everybody behind you. And I've been dealing with gatekeepers and just blockers, like just pretty much my whole life, man. So that's why when I give the opportunity to share some knowledge, man, like I just can't help myself, because I know how hard it is to figure it out. Like, these are costly lessons that, like, you know, a lot of us that have gone through it that are dropping to help people, so you don't have to make those same mistakes. That's why you're saying, like, yes, save time, but dude, save money. I mean, and probably you can earn a little bit more money if you come at it correct. And I did an event too at the highest level from an arena, and so there's so many life lessons that I learned through that, and business lessons that now, like, especially smaller events and other things, like, dude, I could just do that stuff in my sleep because I kind of paid the price, you know, for doing that one. And that's why I want to help others that are, you know, have a business or doing their own personal brand, and they want to do these kind of events. There's a lot of lessons there, man. And that's why I just always want to share, you know, that knowledge, because if I can see you guys bubble up from any little tidbit or anything that I've said, then I could be like, man, let's go, man. Because now you're paving the way, man, for the next person.
Yeah, because look at it this way also. I did construction for a long time. That was my 9 to 5 before I decided to come out. A lot of companies contracts are now slated for minority branded companies, MBE companies, WMBE companies. Watch this though. Certain school work and things of that nature could only be bid on by these lower companies. So now we're preaching entrepreneurship. Get off your ass. Let's get to the bag. Generational wealth building. But you're not telling one company, or one guy could say, yo, take this course before you work with this agency. Let's say the school agency. Yeah. I know these contracts look good, but did you know they have a 92% failure rate? 92% first-time company failure rate. You know why? Because you don't understand just the payment schedule. Watch this.
Yeah. Yes.
Payment schedule, right?
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. Right? Look at just a little bit of information. Let's say now we're talking entrepreneurship. Sometimes you got to sell your house, bro. Sell your car, sell everything you got, and you put it all into it. You study, you did the work properly. But guess what? Their payment rate is do the work, get the work approved 30 to 90 days, and then get a net 60 behind that, which means you might not see your first repayment for 6 months.
6 months.
You got a company now for 6 months, and God forbid you have a RFP or a change order or something where now you got to change something, and then it has to go through the re-inspection process again.
Dude, you are speaking facts right now. Like
so now, right? Like restaurants, right? What's the restaurant's failure ratio? Like 80%?
Yeah.
Thank you, right? So now, like again, this is what I'm talking about. Like shit will get off the pot, right? Little information just like that could save somebody's life, because after I've given all my resources, right? Fought the good fight. People have supported me to help me get there. And now something like that, I lose everything. That can break you. That can put you in an absolute worse position than you was before you went down that road. And then how do you recover from that kind of trauma now?
Right.
Also,
no, my fault. I was like, damn, this nigga talking. My bad. My bad. I got caught in the moment.
No, I thought you was going to jump in, because I'm saying, think about it, Jamar. Like, we talk about entrepreneurship, right? We want people to change the rooms you're in, change the conversations, right? Change things you're doing. Okay, that's fine. But this is why most people stay at 9 to 5s. This is why most people take government and city jobs, because of the safety net. The safety net. You understand? Now, you remove that safety net and you ask a person to go all in and give everything that they have. The good days, the bad days, literally sometimes everything, right? And then for one little tidbit of information as just the payment schedule, sinks your entire company. And then now somebody comes in, they bonded out already. Somebody comes in, buys the contract for pennies on the dollar, finishes the job, and now you out on the streets. How do you recover from that?
Yeah.
And the answer is, if it took everything to get there, most people won't recover from that. And now what does that look like?
That's real.
Dude.
That's super real.
It's just, it is the truth about.
That's why I said thank you, bro, about the sharing of information, bro, because you don't even realize how small a tidbit you could give somebody that could actually make them instead of breaking them, because they listened and they learned and they said, Jamar said, do not do this. And you might save somebody's company, which saves somebody life, which saves somebody's lineage, because now they're able to build generational wealth instead of destroying it because of a bad decision of miseducation.
But it's also up to us for receiving the information. You can say, yo, we motherfucking big podcast. We've had we know all this information. Yo, Jamal, what you talking about? Willis, you do all that. Like, nah, bro, we want to know. We want to know your input. We want to know what you went through. Like, and even segueing into that, I want to know what the big, like, when you talking about, you doing arena events, bro. Yeah. We know people. We've been to Revolt World. We've been to some of the biggest podcast summit, all of those, right? And what we go in there, we looking at as your entrepreneur lens, right? How much that costs, how much this costs, security, the banners. We looking at, I'm pricing everything, everything, bro. We like that, right? So like walk us through how difficult, because some people just want to go on the limb and be like, I'm gonna do an event, and don't really know the logistical aspect of what you need and how to cover your bases, bro. What was some of the lessons you learned? How did you set it up? All that stuff.
Bro. And I honestly, and I haven't told anybody this yet, but
so okay, wait. If you give us exclusive, hold on.
Exclusive without this.
This is an exclusive for real.
Here we go.
So I actually we documented the whole process because I was inspired by Kanye West documentary when it came out. And I was like, bro, I gotta get this. I don't know if this is ever gonna happen again. So I just gotta document this thing. And so I had a good friend of mine, Derek Pfister. He documented the whole thing. We got interviews, we got like the process, like what we went through, the emotions, the ups and downs, like. And so we're putting that together now because I wanted to wait till the second year was done so people could see, like, okay, what happened afterward, you know? And so we're now, starting to put that piece together. So when you talk about this story, there's so many twists and turns to this story, but I'll give you some of kind of what happened. And yeah, there are a lot of learning lessons. I mean, number one, when you do a show, a venue itself doesn't 100% matter. And let me. So when I rented out the arena, I thought it was just going to be like crazy out the gate just because I had the arena. I thought from a venue standpoint, like, bro, like
you gotta pull up.
you gotta pull up.
I'm gonna ask you about that later, because that's like saying the Garden doesn't matter, bro. It's the Garden. All you got to do is say performing at the Garden. And you saying like the
It
Garden?
doesn't matter.
All right, talk to us.
It adds a little bit of that flair and adds that excitement where it piques the interest, right? It piques the interest of somebody saying like, okay, what are you doing there? Or that's super dope. And I also will say this. If I would have done it, I guess, at the Garden or done it somewhere else, in maybe a bigger city than Milwaukee, it might have been slightly different. So that is one variable that I don't know.
Okay, that's real.
And so take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. I'm doing it, maybe in a smaller market. But I immediately thought that I booked this. I do the announcement. We're gonna have a flood of pre-sale tickets, for this event, like out the jump. That did not happen. That did not. It actually, what happened was, because it was the first. So there's a whole back end story to how I even got the arena, right? There's a whole back end story to it, because the arena itself. So if you want to rent out an arena, it costs $500,000 plus. That's without anything. That's without anything in it. You literally just have the arena. That's it.
Oh, real quick. I want to start with 5.
You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
On time, he's ready. That $500,000 investment on an event with no guaranteed ROI. What made you do it?
Right. So
Garden.
Mama, we made it. Mama.
I'm just saying, it's the Garden, bro.
The Garden.
Shout out to the Knicks fans. Ain't seen the championship.
Hey, 2-0, man.
Shout out to the Knicks fans who ain't seen the championship since I've been alive, but you still go to the Garden and watch the Knicks play. I'm just saying. And I'm
right. And so I didn't put up $500K. I didn't put that up. So what happened is it's kind of crazy. So through networking, I've just met a lot of people throughout the city, right? And so when I had interest into renting out the arena, I hit them up and I said, hey, I feel like I just want to do a certain section of the arena, right? Like give me a side room, give me a VIP side room or something like that I just want to do this event at.
A sweet something.
And that's why initially my inquiry went to him is like, hey, let me just get a side room. I just want to see what options I have. After they gave me a tour of the space, then they said, well, we'll send you a quote and we'll let you know what's going on. That actually got across a lady's desk that of a friend of mine that I have actually met in person before. And she was managing their DEI kind of initiatives within the space, right? So what happened is that came across her desk, and then she was like, oh, we're also trying to figure out new ways of how to use the arena as well, because people don't understand that there's off seasons for arenas. Like you got your basketball, you may have, big concerts, you may have some monster trucks, or Disney may come through, whatever. But there is seasons or certain time periods where an arena is not really in use as much as it should be. So especially for Milwaukee, a smaller market, they were looking to see like, how can we use this on some of the downtimes? And so it was right at a very unique spot. I literally got in at like the right time, and they came back with a number that I couldn't refuse. It still was a lot of money. It still was a lot of money, but they came back with a number that I was like, I gotta try. Like, I don't think anybody's getting it for this. And I had the whole joint, bro.
Woo!
The whole thing.
Hold on. whole arena. That's epic, God. That's fire.
Crazy. So there's so many ways I could go with this story, because when you ask that question, like, this is a very, there's so many things. But so the arena itself, I thought was just gonna go crazy, right? The other part about it is, like, when you throw an event, I knew the arena was massive. I just didn't realize when you actually throw an event somewhere there, like, if you throw an event at the Garden, bro, like, it's so big that you don't actually account for everything that people have to go through. So, like, our event, it took people 15 minutes just to go use the bathroom. So, like, if you think about that, somebody has to walk, all the way up the concourse, go through here, go through there, and they're sitting, like, right at the arena floor. Like, it takes so much. They're gonna miss half the panel by the time they came back just to use the bathroom.
Message.
So, like, this is stuff I didn't even think about until I did it. But, like, when you talk about the programming or, like, the seating situation now, so since I had the whole arena, we basically blacked out like 3/4 of it, because I'm like, there's no way I'm going to fit, it's the Pfizer Forum fits about 17,500 people in it. I'm like, there's no way 17,000 people are going to come up in this arena on a first year event. That's the other thing. Don't rent out an arena on your first year event unless you already have, like, a massive, massive audience, or somebody that's going to be, like, the biggest pull possible. If you think about what Earn Your Leisure did and in Atlanta, as far as them renting out that arena space and all those people showing up, I mean, I think they had 20,000. I could be going smaller on. I think they had more than that.
Last year it was like 20,000.
Yeah,
20,
definitely supposed to pull up. And shout out to them. That was incredible.
That was easy.
Yeah, and they did that 20,000 at the arena, like, in massive. I mean, there's so many logistics. So when they talked about, I peeped their episode where they roughly, they kind of skimmed over it, but they were like, dude, it costs millions of dollars just to put on that event, and I believe it, because it's so much that needs to happen. They had the whole, like, vendor section and all this other stuff. Like, oh my God. Like, man, that was the car. They had the big guests, come through with the concert.
All of them, yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff. So,
wait, before you go on, so we make a point to that really quickly about entrepreneurship and stepping out on your own like that. This is why it's very important to try to do what you said. Carry a bag, intern, learn the business from somebody and let them make the mistake first on their dime. And then when it's your turn, you can say, well, I ain't going to do that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's another reason why what you said earlier is very important. It ties in. Learn it first, learn the craft, study it, and hopefully learn it on somebody else's dime. You know what I'm saying?
Fact. Like, I mean, that's the best way to learn is if it's on somebody else's dime, because they're making the mistakes. And it just was such a huge learning lesson from that standpoint. But and then what happened is that I also, so the other crazy part is I only had about 4.5 months to promote the event. That's the other crazy thing. So a lot of people were like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you have not enough time to promote this event. So we did the announcement trailer in April, and the event was in August. So we didn't have that much runway to really pub it. But we pushed it as much as we could. And the one thing that I did do that was super smart is get a lot of key speakers to come out to your event. So because I'm able to, I'm crazy networked, I got some incredible people to come by and speak at the event, at the panel. I had a couple keynotes come through. I keynoted it to kick it off because it was my baby, my vision, so I had to come through and do my thing. So actually I did a performance into a keynote. And this is kind of what you guys were saying, that I'm kind of a forward thing. I'm definitely forward thinking. But and that's probably what made me do the arena first, which I going back, I probably wouldn't do an arena first event. I probably would do like a year 5, thing. But get your speakers lined up. The other logistic problem that happened with there is, so since there's so much seating, right? And if you had, we were kind of estimating around like 1,000 to 2,000 people to come out to this first year event. So because it's a first year event, everybody's going to question you. So that's another thing. That's like a huge gem. If it's a first year event, go as like tight, like as small as possible, because everybody's going to question what you're doing, especially sponsors.
Message.
You already got the plugs in and you like best friends with some people, like, yo, man, you believe in me, right, man? It's gonna be off the chain, man. Like, then the sponsors will come through. But if it's a first year and you don't really know them and you're just meeting them, it's so hard to get sponsorships for a first year event. And that's why even Earn Your Leisure even talked about it was so hard for them to even get sponsors, even with 20,000 people. I know their first event, I think it was like 10,000 or something like that they had. Still, they don't have the big sponsors even for those events, because the idea of it sometimes it's too expansive even for these big brands and big companies to even grasp like what you're doing. They don't even understand it fully.
Absolutely.
A lot of these conferences that we go to year by year, they've been around for 10, 20, 30 years. They've just been cranking through. And that's why you see these big companies a part of those conferences, because it's proven. It's proven exactly who's going to be there and what's all going to happen. They're just rinse and repeat. So with a first year event, I took, for a lot of companies, there's a lot of risk that goes into it. And I didn't realize this when I thought, ooh, I got the arena. Who doesn't want to be a part of this, man?
Who wouldn't pull up, right? In my city, of course.
Garden.
You're like, who wouldn't do this, man?
Right.
So yeah, and so all in all, like we had about 400, 500 people come out to the event. So we definitely didn't hit the numbers that we wanted to. And the only problem is, like, that's still a decent amount of people for an event. The problem is it's an arena, so it still looks sparse. Because another thing I didn't realize is, so this is so gigantic. We had a section where we had like a vendor section. And so we had that part. So people were in there. We had a VIP section where people were at VIP eating good food. All, in this other section, people were in the seating area, the arena floor. And then if people were going to use the restroom. And then also we had the atrium area where people could kind of walk in and be able to register and stuff. But people kind of hang out over there. So people are spread out all around the place. So by the time you go on stage, there may be like 100 people like spread out, and it didn't feel that intimate. Like, yo, there's a bunch of, like there's a good amount of people here, and the arena is so massive. Like, we had a beautiful stage setup. I don't know if you guys seen pictures of it, but beautiful stage setup. But you're so far away from the audience. Like, you're so far away. But the pictures are super dope. The pictures and the video of stuff that I have, so dope, man. Like, and that's one thing no one could ever take away from me, that I did it. Yeah. And there was definitely a lot of ups and downs. There's times I didn't even think it was going to happen, because budgets and when money was due, deposits, and all that stuff. And then you got to pay, obviously everybody that's doing the events. Like, there's just so many things that have to the timing has to be perfect on so many different elements. And I did it. And that's one thing that's why I still talk about it till this day, because no one can take that away from me. And actually I was the first African-American small business owner to rent out an arena, I think, period. I don't think anybody else has done it.
Don't rush. I think flowers for that, ladies, and just say that again. No, don't rush past.
So until I'm proven wrong.
Right.
Until I prove, because I literally like Googled this and I like trying to do my research, bro.
Let me get my stats.
I don't want to be that guy that's like shutting down somebody else that already did.
Hayes. Hayes is our Shirley Strawberry.
Fact check. I hate the Hayes. But Shirley, yo, yeah, you can't be calling a grown man Shirley Strawberry. Oh, hate it.
Hey.
You need a pause after that. You need a pause.
No, I take that. That's what I told him last week. He is our resident researcher. He is our Shirley Strong. From the Steve Harvey Show. Hayes, fact check. Jamar Jones, be the first. We want the answer, Hayes. Get the
Hayes,
answer.
fact check him. Say it's pause. Let him know pause, Hayes. We're waiting for your comment right now. We'll wait for the comment right now. Where he at? There you go.
There you go.
I'm telling you,
He never miss a beat.
me, please.
He never miss a beat.
Quick thing, yo, shout out to Stan. Shout out to Stan, man. He been showing us a lot of love on YouTube.
Yeah,
man.
man. What's up, Stan?
Shout out to
Grinding. I enjoy the show. Dope. Yeah, I until I'm proven wrong, I'm the first African American small business owner that has rented out an arena. Never been done before.
Yeah, let's give him a clap. I love that, man. I love that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Jamal. You know, even if it ain't the Garden, right? For you to walk around and say that, I ain't gonna lie. The pride gonna hit, the chest gonna puff up a little bit. And the moment I walk off the stage, I'm like,
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
you know what it is. I rock the arena. Who but me?
Arena.
Dude, it's so funny you said that because
Jones.
I literally said, like, I said, man, after this, man, my prices just went up, man. My prices just went up.
But did you see that happening? Did you see that happening after? What was life like post event?
So post event, not immediately. So it wasn't immediately though.
Okay.
But the more that I started to spread out and tell people about it. So, and that's one thing too. Like another bomb I gotta drop is do your post event marketing, man. Like so many people throw an event and then they just dead it right after it. And then this is it. Like you put all that time, effort, energy, money, resources into putting that event. You better do the post event marketing, man, and let the whole world know that they just missed out. So through the post event, because we did so much organic just impressions on social, we did like it had to have been well over 500,000 impressions just and then and just everybody sharing the event, posting it. And so afterwards, I definitely saw just like a little bit of it. It wasn't immediate though. It was like a little uptick. And I would say now, even a few years later, I think people, the more I share the story, they're like, yo, what did you do? You know, they're like, dude, what? And so now when I tell them what our prices are now, you know, to work with us, I don't really get much resistance in that sense of like individuals care about, maybe from a company standpoint, depending on their, you know, what brand they are, what they maybe deem as successful or valuable or whatever. But I always get the wow factor. And that's really why, you know, why I did it, you know, was that wow factor of like, dude, what are you on, bro? You know, like, and I really could, you know, like when you talk about, you know, saving people a lot of money, like I learned so much through that event process. Like if anybody else rents out an arena, like hit me up because I can save you a lot of coin, bro.
It is.
But yo, I'm gonna give you a quick tidbit too, bro. If you do an arena again, right, make sure you use a tool like Tint, right? So basically your entire community, as they're posting and talking about your event, you could put it up on the scoreboard or something like that, and they can see their posts talking about your event.
There you go.
So use something called Tint, T-I-N-T. We actually know the CEO of the company was actually a guest on the show.
Oh, so dope. Yeah. That would have been.
You gotta listen to him. You learn something.
Yeah, one thing to be at the event and be like, yo, Jamar's on stage right now, and then see it on the big screen.
Right on the Jumbotron, man. That's what we had. We had the Jumbotron.
I'm also gonna make an exclusive announcement. We are going to the next fucking event that you do at an arena, and we are pulling up.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Jay. We coming invited or uninvited.
You pulling up like this.
More than the title. Put the hoodie on, Jay. Event crashes.
You're more than welcome, man. You're more than welcome. More than welcome.
17,000 seats. He ain't gonna see us by the hot dog stand.
Whoa. Not be by the
glizzy stand. I said the hot dogs. People love hot dogs at arenas. It's a fact. What else do you eat when you're drinking a good cold Blue Moon? Cut the check.
Hey, hold up. Are we gonna say their name? Hold on. We're gonna say their goddamn name.
We gotta pay some bills. We'll be right back.
Blue Moon, holla at us. We done drank 2. I done went to the bathroom 3 times and didn't pause
That's
the
a
damn
fact.
show. Holla at us.
Hey, get at them.
And I don't even
Blue
drink
Moon.
beer, Blue Moon, only because my cousin, you know what I'm saying, with him, you know, I partake in the Belgian ale.
Yep. Hit
And
him up, Blue Moon.
I'm gonna tell you what, Jamal, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You do another stadium event, and we're gonna have another groupie story. Because if you bring more than the title with you, I promise you, you ain't gonna be doing that.
I'm pulling up like.
Did you miss me?
Sponsors, I'm telling y'all now, for that segment, we're gonna black you out. The signal gonna drop for about 35 seconds. We'll come back later. Technical difficulty might happen.
Only fan sponsor.
Oh shoot!
Look, I found this. I wanted to make you laugh, man. I love, you know, when we talk about memory lane, man, we talk about keeping receipts. So when I did music, man, this is one of my album covers right here, man.
Oh,
you know,
man.
So this is my logo that I actually made into a chain, man. And then yeah, man, there you go, man.
Oh my God, he pulled it up. Look at the tattoo.
Got the tats, man. So the one without the color was the first one, and the one with the color was with my influence. And you know,
oh my God. What?
And ladies and gentlemen, whoever gets the first more than the title tattoo, we will absolutely, if you send us a good picture, we will absolutely put it up on the screen. We won't show your face. No face, no case, but we will show that we are getting that type of support.
Dude.
You on mute, Cuzzo, you on mute.
I bet that was mad funny too the first time. Audio listeners, I totally dropped the ball on that shit. Shit was mad funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, I fucked up.
Yeah. You know,
that's crazy. Bro.
Been doing music a long time, Jay.
Yo,
we're gonna add a bar section to everybody. We got a lot of rappers that come through.
You got a lot of musicians that come across, man. Oh, Hayes, that's crazy. You know what? Because I'm not a hater. I'm gonna put Hayes' comment up. He said circa 1978. Hayes, technically, I wasn't even born in 78, Hayes. I'm not that old. I mean, sorry. You missed that one, Hayes. You didn't fact check. You didn't fact check my DOB. I wasn't even born in 78.
Nigga, Blue Magic was out when you came.
Yeah, I'm saying. But I want to say this to you also, Jamar, right? And this is something that we ask a lot of our guests. So I want to ask you, brother, as successful as you have been, you have a plethora of knowledge and experience, man. Do you actually actively right now take on any mentees to teach them what you're doing, or has anybody approached you for some sort of apprenticeship through your company or anything like that? Are you actively participating in something like that right now?
Yeah, so I do that all the time, actually.
Okay.
So I work either through organizations that have people that are interested in the marketing media space or entrepreneurship. We've definitely had interns in the past, and actually, what I'll do is I literally got to hit her back because I had kind of a mentorship program that I did with two young ladies.
Okay.
And she actually just sent me this text. I'm gonna put her on blast real quick.
Okay, get the horns ready. Let's get the horns ready. Hold on. Here we go.
So
8th period.
So here we go. Oh, that's the wrong Megan. Hold on.
That's the wrong one.
That's the one.
Oh, Morgan. So
I gotta hit you up later.
So I'll read this.
The wrong Megan is crazy. Not the wrong Megan.
No, this is Morgan. No. So I'm gonna read this text right here because this is definitely all backwards and twisted and all that stuff. But so she said, I totally know this is out of the blue, but I want to thank you for the mentorship over the years. I don't think I've thanked you enough for your guidance. It's definitely really paying off. I really hope you're doing well and love to hear about what you're up to. So it just like messages like that, just, you know, that just makes it like totally worth it, man. Totally worth it.
Yeah.
I got to get my camera back. Hold on.
Yeah, we lost focus. We lost focus. It's all good. We lost focus.
You know what it was? You know what it is? That's actually Megan, because she like, you call me Morgan. She, you know what I mean? She sent you.
Yeah. That's payback. That's payback.
Yeah, that was dope, man. And shout out to whoever sent that, because you don't realize the value that you got from this man Jamar Jones. The ROI you can't calculate, because you're going to take that into the rest of your life. But guess what? The ROI that he gets from you acknowledging that. You don't know if he was having a bad day when that message came through. You don't know if his business wasn't doing so well. And that message right there could have re-energized him to continue to go out and help other people. And that's why balance, right? So that's why we got to let each other know how we feel about each other. Lead with love, like my cousin like to say, lead with love, and give people their flowers while they still here and they deserve them, man. Don't be afraid to tell somebody thank you, or you did a good job, or they inspire you, man. You know,
man. So real, man. Because that's when I got that message, like it's just stuff like that keeps me moving forward, man. I definitely had my days where I don't know, man. I'm like, do I want to continue? Is this worth it? But just getting those messages, man, it's like that little bit of just motivation, just more fuel in the tank, man, to keep moving forward. So
like those messages only occur. I know for me personally, when I'm having the worst effing day possible. Anytime I go through some shit, I'll get a random person on LinkedIn. It'll be somebody from Germany or somewhere. Random, like, yo, I love your post. I love your story. I relate to it.
Right.
Like, yo, damn, you watch. Cuz we back in the ball game. They love us.
We'll be back in, coach. We'll be back in. Give me the ball, man.
No, for real though. No, he's not lying, bro. Some days, we have bad days, bro. And he's not lying, man. If it's not a text message, maybe it'll be like a stat or random email from somebody that's just, showing that support and that love, man. And yeah, man, it does a lot for us to just get the energy to fight one more day, right? We don't know what the next today Tuesday. Okay, we're gonna be here Wednesday. Now Thursday, we might need another message.
Yeah, right now.
I might be there.
But guarantee you tomorrow,
for sure.
We'll be here. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. I absolutely love this interview, man. I mean,
this is so fun.
Man. This was one of my absolute favorite interviews, Jamar. I want to thank you for coming on the show, bro. I want to thank you for entrusting us with your story and allowing us to give you this platform to express yourself unfiltered, and get your message out the way exactly you want the people to know you by. You know what I mean? So we appreciate that, man.
Thanks, bro. This was real, man.
Thank you.
I just want to say, bro, just from another brother, man. Like I said, I said early in the podcast, there's not many of us on LinkedIn, man. There wasn't many of us. First of all, I knew you because you were the only motherfucker like me with a hat. But me and you, who's the brother with the hat on? Me and you, bro, and me and you the only ones that do it. And we can stake our claim on LinkedIn. We the only brothers. I just want to say that's our first time meeting you, brother. I've seen your progression. You know what I'm saying? I know you inspired me to do some shit, man, and keep going on LinkedIn. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing it, man, because you don't know who's watching. I know I've been watching, bro, and just keep going, man, because what you're doing is fucking amazing, man. And we're going to celebrate you here every time you come through, man, and this is real, and I'm glad, and you're a part of the family now. We're glad to have you part of the Morning Title family. Real talk.
So you know what that entails. You know what that entails, Jamar. What that entails is, now that you're a part of the family, see, we don't gatekeep either, right? So now we're over 100 episodes, over 110 episodes. You now have 110 other networking possibilities at your disposal. So if you've seen one of our guests that you might want to get to know and network with or something, all it takes is a simple text message. And the way we do that is, if you got his personal number already, Jay?
No, just put it in the private chat too, Jamal.
Jamal, put your personal number, if you don't mind, in the private chat. What we're going to do is set up a group chat between me, you, and Jay, right? So that way we can continue this conversation. And number one, if you see anybody on the show that's been a previous guest or future, right? If you see a show that comes up later that you see a guest that you would like to connect with, all it takes is a simple text. Hey guys, I would love to connect with so-and-so. And what we'll do is we'll get your email and we'll plug you guys in, set up a conference call. Once you guys meet, we step away and let you develop that, relationship on your own. So we don't gatekeep. That's number one. Number two, now when you come to New York, we're gonna take you to the garden.
That's a
We're taking you to the garden.
I gotta go to the garden, man.
How you about the garden is. So now when you come to New York, you gotta hit us up, man.
Hold on. Depends where we are. Depends where we are. We might take you to Rucker or Dykeman. Depends where we are.
But, that is true too, because Rucker and Dykeman definitely be lit. Yeah, definitely be lit. It looked like the garden.
That's it.
It looked like the garden.
Let's be section out. Yeah, you just do close-ups all the time. So Jamar, next time you do an arena, if it's not that many people, just do close-ups, man. Don't get the wide angles. Don't get the wide angles.
Yeah. Our promo video is all close-ups, man. It's all close-ups. The recap video.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And we look forward to building with you, bro. We look forward to continuing our conversations with you. We don't believe in one-off conversations, right? Because we need to have these talks, because if we don't, then once again, our culture doesn't have the information needed to even think where to begin to move forward, man. So, I just want to say salute to you, King, man. Thank you for coming on the show, man. And, yeah, let them know.
Yeah, man. So hit me up on LinkedIn. That's the best way to get connected with me. FourEvaMedia.com, FOUREVA media.com. If you're
number 4 in media.
Yeah. There's if anybody's looking to start or grow their personal brand, hit us up. Work with so many amazing people, got amazing results, more stages, more attention, more reputation, more leads, more revenue for your business. So if that is you, hit us up. We work with a lot of different entrepreneurs and founders and executives on that front. And if you're looking for a keynote speaker to come into your business or your organization, hit me up. I travel all around the country. Yeah, I love it. I love it, man. So anything.
I'm gonna put it out in the air right now, bro. First of all, I haven't seen too many creators collab on courses, but you and I, as branded guys on LinkedIn with the guys that are black, that is hip hop, that are rappers and all that, we need to come up with a something that's for us.
We gotta
we're gonna brainstorm. Me and you gonna come up with for something for LinkedIn for us.
I'm a little upset he's not in New York now. You know what I mean, Jamar? Because we are doing a LinkedIn event live on Thursday, and then we would have loved for you to pull up to that. Man, it's gonna be nothing but like CMOs and CEOs in the building. I think that would have been a great that would have been a great space for you to come and enjoy that with us, man. So
we'll get into some stuff, man, because I've been actually planning something right now in New York for later this year. So I'll tap you guys on the shoulder for that. It's in Times Square. So
and then you go to Beast Node too. You went with T-Lock and them, right?
Yeah, that's my boy, man.
Yeah, like we had on the show.
Travis is the boy, man.
Travis energy is crazy, man. Travis is crazy. Shout out to man. That's a fact, but we had a good time with Travis, man. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this has been another just phenomenal episode. And yes, I'm using the word phenomenal because that's what we do. I pat itself on the back. Another phenomenal episode of More Than the Title, man. Like I said, whatever podcast you're gonna come on to and get gems dropped on you, get some laughs, get some jokes, get them intimate stories, get the authenticity, and you're gonna walk away feeling full. You understand? Only on More Than the Title.
Message.
We do it, and you already know the motto: impact over metrics. We do it for the culture.
You already know. Thursday, y'all. No episode, different format. We will be live streaming directly from LinkedIn headquarters. 4-hour episode. Be prepared, y'all. There's going to be Paramount, BET, Amazon, UGG, a lot of big brands. Shout out to Black Cat. Shout out to McCann Agency. We will be there, and we have a panel with J. Alexander Martin, co-founder of FUBU, and Doug Melville, a DEI legend and best-selling author. So we're going to live stream everything. Y'all going to get
best-selling author.
Whole lot. And we support all. You heard?
How about that? And guess what, man? The lemon pepper steppers is coming out. They're going to bust.
The shoulders. We're going to tear them up, y'all. So only the title, y'all. We're going to give y'all the exclusive.
Get ready.
Be ready Thursday, man. Show the love, and we're going to see y'all, and we out of here, man. Much love. More Than the Title, baby.
What you know about me? Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me?